All right, obviously, we can't pretend like we're back to being dominant again. Because let's be real, without this red card, I think the result would have been a little bit different. I don't think it would have been as big. Still, I think Barcelona, most definitely, we would have won this game. We're going to win this game in the second half. This is why I hated that red card. But it made things so much easier for us. We took over right after that. And honestly, that's exactly what we needed, though. So we'll take it because we have El Clásico coming up. And this is exactly what the doctor ordered. A sounding win right before. Remember Valencia? We did exactly the same thing. We beat them 6-0, and then we gained confidence to go beat them at St. James Park 2-1 over there in Newcastle for the Champions League. So not only this victory was good to conserve energy, but also because it's big in the storyline, and what that does wonders for the morale and momentum, and for certain individuals, like for example Fermín López getting a hat trick, Marcus Rashford that should have had a hat trick as well, Lamine Yamal, Balde. This could not have come at a better time, guys. I'm going to give you my 6 key takeaways for this game because it was 6-1. But before we do that, please like this video, subscribe to the channel. We are one of the fastest growing communities for Barcelona content, so you might as well subscribe right now. And let me know in the comments, what is your main key takeaway for this game? So guys, let's get into it. Here's my 6 key takeaways from Barcelona's victory 6-1 against Olympiacos. And my number 1 is Fermín López is here to stay. We don't talk about this kid enough. Let's be honest. He almost left to Chelsea. Some people were saying that we should have sold him for 40 million euros. Chelsea, are you mad? You think you can take Fermín López for 40 million euros? Forget replacing Dani Olmo right now because Dani Olmo is injured. Forget signing extra depth right now. Fermín is our number 10, and he deserves to be first choice option. No matter who is fit or who is injured, Fermín López should be the number 1 starter. Even when Olmo comes back, the undeniably starter. He's reliable. He's clinical. His growth is fast. And as a matter of fact, I could make an argument that Dani Olmo coming to Barcelona slow his growth. You can see it like in his timing and his decision makings and his runs and his composure and his finishing in front of goal is unbelievable. Fermín López, man, let me just say it loud and clear. Fermín López is a 20 goal per season midfielder. And very, very few of those right now exist in today's world of football right now. And that is one Fermín López. And we got him. His hat trick tonight, it wasn't luck. It was totally instinct, confidence, and quality. He's no longer a promising young player. And he's a core piece of this team. If this team wants to go far in this competition, Fermín López has to be at front. And today, by the way, his hat trick was, all of them were with his weak foot, his left foot, all of them. So my key takeaway number 2 is Alejandro Balde back to his best. As long as Alejandro Balde is back, then Barcelona will be back. This was the Balde that we've been waiting for. Explosive, fearless, and decisive. He broke the press with confidence, made dangerous overlapping runs, and he was electric in transition. And that assist, that was vintage Balde, man. I loved it. What I really loved the most, though, was his connection with the younger players, especially Dro Fernandez, and felt very natural because Fernández likes to play more inside, very fluid and dangerous. And every time they combine down that left side, they were a problem for Olympiacos all game long. And heading into a Clásico, Balde's form will be massive. As long as Balde's having massive games, Barcelona will be having massive games. He's a big part of our attack. My number 3 will be Dro Fernandez is another La Masia gem. Second youngest Barcelona player to ever register an assist on a debut in the Champions League at 17 years old. And he played like he belonged here. How do they do this, by the way? How do they just throw him in the Champions League? At 17 years old, I was literally playing my last years at high school, in a high school meaningless game. And here's Dro Fernandez making his debut at Montjuic Stadium in the Champions League when the lights are the brightest. How's La Masia do this, man? We just keep hearing about Dro, right? And I'm guilty of this. Like, he is not fit. He's not physically ready, right? And I even said this before, and he wowed me today. But you know what? I am not buying that excuse anymore. I believe he's more ready than not. He doesn't rely on physicality most of the time. It's mostly just intelligence. He relies on his IQ as a player. He's elite technically, elite IQ and composure. Man, that really, you cannot teach that. And that's mainly how he can get away with him not being ready physically, which to me I don't think he is. But he just looks. I think last time when he made his debut in La Liga, I just don't think he was. I think he was nervous. And in this game, he never looked nervous. And remember, he was playing out of position. That's the one thing you guys should know. Yeah, his chemistry with Balde looked better than what we've seen between Balde and Rashford, because Rashford is another. Both players like to stretch the pitch. They like to play on that flank. None of them like to play inside. And with Dro, it was much, much better. Than that assist was just the beginning. This debut will boost his confidence and hopefully his minutes as well. So my key takeaway number 5 is Marcus Rashford. Sign him permanently right now. I will sign his contract with my eyes closed right now. That is it. 5 goals, 4 assists in 8 starts. 9 goal contributions already for 30 million. That is an absolute steal. Are you freaking kidding me? For what he's given us, Rashford is already giving us what we hope for and more in just less than 15 games. He's producing from the left. He's producing from the right, even as a false 9. And just for context, just for comparison, let me compare them for just a second. He has more GAs than Nico Williams this season. He has been injured. And he has just the same amount of goals as Luis Diaz, 2 players that Barcelona wanted to unload the bank. And Marcus Rashford is playing as good or better than both. And the 2 near the post finishes tonight, world class. Mbappe level quality on both. And that second goal, it was Mbappe-esque. The type of finish like that from outside the box. The way that he attacked those spaces every single time, you can tell that he's thriving in Flick's system. He looks happy, he looks hungry, and dangerous. Sign him now. I'm telling you, sign him now for that kind of money. My key takeaway number 5 is going to be Roony Bardghji is pure talent. The elastical dribble before the assist. That kind of flair that we've been missing off the bench. And that kind of flair, well, let's be honest, he reminds me of Ronaldinho. Ronaldinho was the only player who dared to ever do something like this. And he did that. And for less than 3 million euros, I mean, this might go down as one of Deco's smartest signings of all time. And you can see why. He's confident, he's creative, and he brings something different. He deserves a lot more respect, and a lot more respect from the fans, and a lot more minutes from Hansi Flick. And finally, we have a Lamine Yamal backup, unlike last season where Lamine Yamal had, God forbid, Lamine Yamal had a flu when he was out with an ankle injury, or the offense dipped. And he's only 19 years old, may I remind you. His age, 19 years old. This kid can be so much better. My key takeaway number 6 is Lamine Yamal. Stop nitpicking his greatness. A goal, an assist, 2 chances created, 4 dribbles, 7 duels won, and somehow people are still saying the streets will never forget Lamine Yamal in 2024, 2025. And everybody's saying that he had a stinker today. And this is a stinker from Lamine Yamal. I don't think he played great. But this is my point. If this is not a good game for Lamine Yamal, what are his good games look like? Come on. He doesn't have to dribble past 10 players every single game just for it to be considered a good performance. Now, after giving him his flowers, Lamine Yamal, look at me for 1 second. You need a little piece of humble pie, bro. Seriously, I do not like your okay, I don't mind your celebration. I don't care if you're gonna do the crown. I don't care if you're gonna do the talk to talk. I don't care if you're gonna call out people who are talking about you. But you didn't have a good game today. Your game was subpar to your standards. You had a goal, you had an assist, but you had moments. You never really took over this game, and you didn't shut the crowd. It was Rashford who drew that pen, and you took it. That's fine. That's fun in games. But you're gonna do the king celebration, and then you're gonna shut everybody down. If you're gonna do this against Real Madrid at the Bernabeu, I'm all for it, buddy. You can go crown celebration if you're gonna score, but if you're gonna show up and show out. But in this game, it was the other way around. But guys, let me know what you guys think about that. Man, I'm not really buying Lamine Yamal's attitude. I think it needs a little piece of humble pie. So here's the bottom line for me. We needed an easy, feel-good win before El Clásico, and we got exactly that. It couldn't be better. Fermín is flying, Rashford is confident, Balde is back, Lamine Yamal looks better than the last game, Roony Bardghji looks ready to take over Lamine Yamal if he needs some rest, and Dro Fernandez just reminded everyone that La Masia never stops producing. Look, we're ready for a Clásico, man. Fermín is coming, Rashford is coming, Real Madrid, consider yourself warned.